What's up, guys? This is Ty Zen, and with me I have the Honorable Grandmaster, legendary LeonFu.com.
Okay.
The great oracle of cryptocurrency, right? So in this video, guys, we were doing some shopping around, and we just goofing off, and we ran across a investment opportunity that's outside of cryptocurrency. So this is probably one of the few times that we're going to talk about something about making money outside of cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
It's still about trading, and it's still about investing. You guys know this channel is all about, you know, creating life-changing money and life-changing profits and life-changing finances, right? So today, what are we going to talk about investing in?
We're going to talk about cars.
We're going to talk about cars.
You know, we're famous for our really fancy cars, aren't we? Even though we're not in one right now.
You know, we're in a rental car
right now. But, yeah, you know, a lot of our videos, you know, we got the Maserati.
Yeah.
Then we have the Teslas. And then I got my other Tesla. So yeah.
Which Tesla do you not have?
I have just the Roadster I don't have.
Yeah.
That's the one I don't have. All right.
But anyways, let's talk about what we're going to talk about here.
Yeah.
We want to talk about investing in Ferraris and supercars, specifically with the Ferrari. So
yeah.
which Ferrari are you talking about?
Well, today, you know, I was just taking a break, you know, this afternoon. And
from our privacy coins?
Our privacy coins, yeah. So I was just, you know, I was at downtown Roswell, and then heading over
the city of Atlanta, Georgia.
The city of Atlanta, Georgia, the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. And then I was heading over to...
I want to speak up.
I was heading over to the Whole Foods at the...
Avalon?
Avalon, that's right. It's kind of like the Domain in Austin. It's a high, you know, one of these high-end shopping centers.
Or the Legacy in Dallas.
Legacy in Dallas, yeah. So on the way there was a Ferrari Maserati. I wasn't looking for it. I just happened to drive by, and I decided to stop and take a look around. And now I've known that, you know, everyone probably has heard of like collectible cars going for millions of dollars, right? Like 1950s, whatever, Ferraris, Corvettes, Porsches, you know, whatever you might have heard of, right? So it's not uncommon. I'm sure everyone's have heard of that. But I don't think many people know that, you know, people usually think of cars as investments, like classic cars. Yeah. Right? But I don't think many people realize that you can make a return on newer cars too, like new exotic supercars. Actually, not even supercars. Like they're now called hypercars, right?
Yeah. I mean, they'll model numbers.
All right, like for example, probably one of the best performers was the Porsche 918. Yeah. It was about, you know, so there were McLaren.
There's a Porsche right in front of us right now.
There's a Porsche, but that's not the 918. That's a Panamera. There were three hypercars that came out at around the same time from McLaren, Ferrari, and Porsche, right? Yeah. That was the Ferrari LaFerrari, the Porsche 918, and the McLaren P1. I believe they came out in like 2014, 2015, right? Yeah. And you know, they all went, like the Porsche was the cheapest one out of those three. It was like 900 something thousand. I think it was like 918,000 for, and they made 918 of them or something like that. Some number like that. And they all have gone up. I know the Porsches in like a year or two have doubled in value. Okay. So in other words, if you were in at if you were able, obviously not everybody can get one because it's a very limited edition. So
but there are people who listen to our channel.
Yeah, who can get one.
Yeah, who can get one that have made several hundred Bitcoins. That's not going to be a big problem.
That's not going to be a big problem. But you know, in this case, last year there was a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta TDF edition. Which was TDF stands for Tour de France, right? It was a car that Ferrari made in limited numbers to celebrate, I guess, the famous bicycle race in France, right? And I was just talking to the Ferrari dealer, and I asked him about, hey, is there a way to actually make money, like buying Ferraris that appreciate, right? And it just so happened, like, he just pointed out the window. He said, yeah, you see that white Ferrari over there? That's the F12 TDF edition, right? Yeah. And that came out, I believe that came out like last year or something. He said, yeah, that car came out at 500,000, brand new. And today they're going for like $1 million, right? So
because they're limited supply.
They're limited supply, and they're very desirable things. Like the Bugatti Veyron was like a, I think $1 million when it came out, and now it's, or $2 million when it came out, and now it's $3 or $4 million, you know, 5 years later.
Yeah.
So it's not true that all new cars depreciate.
Yeah.
Right? If you find some very rare, very exotic cars, they're typically very high end, you can make money from that. You don't have to buy cars that are like 50 years old. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know, we talk about finance here, and you know, and diversification is part of you know, that finance, because no matter what market you're in, it eventually crashes. Yeah. Right. So it's important not to. That's why it's important not to have all your eggs in one basket, because no one can predict with precision when any market is going to crash. Right. Like no one's ever completely sure when that's happening every single time. Right. Yeah. So it's important that, you know, you rebalance your portfolio, and so we're always looking for new asset classes that have potential to deploy our assets. If we make a windfall profit, a life-changing amount of money somewhere, it's important that you don't keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down and then lose it all. It's important that you diversify, take some profits, and then move it over into something that is totally unrelated to what you're doing. That has a reasonable chance of at least holding its value. So that's the moral of the story.
Talk about, like, for example, what about like the Ferrari 458, the one I like? Yeah,
even that is produced in that. There's just still too many of those that still depreciate, but they actually depreciate very slowly. Like the 458 took forever. I mean, I knew it came out at around 250,000, and it took forever to go under 200. It's still not easy to find one under 200,000. So, I mean, you can these days. It's been, I mean, the 458 came out in 2009. So generally, that's not even high end enough. You know, if you're talking, if you really want to buy something that has a shot of going up in price, there's two ways you can do that. You have a lot of money, and you can buy like a $1 million hypercar, right? And you also have the connections too. It's not just money. Right? Too many people have that money to be able to, more than what they have to sell, right? The other way is you go to buy classic cars. Generally, it takes about 25 years for a new car to fully depreciate. Like if it's going to become a collectible, right? To fully depreciate and then come back to the value it was when it was new. That life cycle is about 25 years. So typically a car, until it's not going to go down in value anymore, like it's just stopped going down, it's 10 to maybe about 15 years old, maybe 18 years old, that it's just like now it can't go down anymore, right? And then it might actually even start going up if any collectors start taking an interest in it. Right? And some cars that I read an article where like Porsches from the 1980s and early 90s are almost at that point. You know, they're at to the point where I don't think they've appreciated it back to where they were when they were new, but they're on the way up now. They're no longer depreciating. All right. And so that's another strategy that, you know, one day, it's not something I'm doing right now, but it's just something that I've read about and something to consider in the future. And
we're considering, you know, a supercar here in the next few years, but it's not going to be for investment purposes. It's more going to be for business purpose.
Sure.
You know, that's something that Leon and I and our team have set our eyes on. But so just wanted to share this with you guys. I know that there's just want to share how you guys can diversify, right? Go ahead.
Go here?
No, left.
All right.
Keep going straight.
Sure.
So
there are accidents on I-85 South Past, exit 1A.
So we just wanted to share this video with you guys real quick in case any of you guys are interested in supercars or have considered, you know, getting one. Especially if you got, you know, you've been in Ethereum or Bitcoin or Stratus or Golem or any of those.
If you and you know what, if you were in one of those, you know, take some profits and enjoy. You know, like life is not about just endlessly accumulating money. You know, life is really about our channel is about life-changing profits, life-changing money. once you do it, do something that changes your life. You know,
Yeah.
do something. Don't just like you know, just try to keep accumulating. Like do things along the way. That's important. Yeah.
So, just if you guys like these types of videos, guys, where we talk about different asset classes and different ways to invest to create life-changing profits, you know, make sure that you give us a thumbs up if you don't like it. You know, you want us to stick to the cryptocurrencies, give us a thumbs down so that we'll know not to make them. And then, you guys have any friends or family that are interested in learning how to invest in cryptocurrencies and make life-changing money, then make sure that you share our channel with them. Thanks, guys.